Hi, she is family. Happy October. I am with the lovely Nikki Watson. I met her just a few short weeks ago, fell in love with her and her brand and wanted to share her. And that's what we do when we find something good, a good restaurant, a good book, we want to share it. So I wanted to share her with She Is Family. And I am going to pause to allow her to properly introduce herself. But Nikki, take it away.
Okay. Well, I'm Nikki Watson. I own the largest home staging company in the state of Texas. So we are a design firm. We do more than staging, but that is our main business. So we do design and everything. So remodeling the whole nine yards. So we are a design firm based in Dallas, Texas, and we are the largest in the state of Texas.
That's a huge thing because first of all, Texas is ginormous, and we all know that.
It is.
So yes, yeah, clap for you on that. That's amazing. But I'll just talk about our meeting. I received an email notification just like all realtors do about attending events. And so I saw this one and I went, I'm not really into home staging. I mean, most of my homes, already come, with furniture in it, or they're empty, they sell quick. The market has kind of been, you know, uh very fluid in that and just kind of changing to something different. So I was like, okay, I'll go. My friend was hosting it and not really understanding my purpose for being in the seat on that day.
Right.
And so, yeah, I love HGTV, love designing, redesigning, all of those wonderful things. So, of course, that was the place to be. But when I sat there and heard your presentation, and excuse me, but after you said a couple of things, I really wasn't listening to you about the design features that you offer.
Right. It went a whole different direction. I understand.
It did. And I also think that it's probably situational, in different rooms and different places. So the reason I wanted Nikki to sit here with me today and talk with you all, because she talked about her dream and she talked about her 9 to 5 and how she made the transition and just some really key things that I wrote down. And I went, oh my God, I'm done. She can leave. I can leave now. But Nikki, tell us where you started and then we'll fast forward to where you are, but tell us where you started.
So how I got into real estate was I started working I was actually in the office at a flooring company. So they had five stores, so it was a chain, and I was doing all of the billing and all the behind the scenes. And so they one day, about a year into my job, they came and said, "Hey, Nikki, don't you want to go out and sell floors?" And I never sold anything. And I
Uh-huh.
was like, "No, I don't want to do that." And they were like, "You'll be really good." And I did it. I said, okay, if I don't like it, I'm coming back to this job. I said, me and the girl that's coming, we're going to sit here together if I don't like what y'all trying to get me to do. So they were like, oh, you'll love it. So I went out and I really did. So I started marketing floors. And so that's how I built a lot of the relationships that I had. So realtors, investors, apartment complexes, all kinds of people I met during that. So that's where I started in the real estate market. And then I met a home stager, and his story is so crazy. I don't even know if we have time for that. But he
Just
was
a
the
little
one.
bit. Tell us.
So I'll tell you this, and this is a God thing. So his
Uh-huh.
story is how I got into it, and I know it was all meant to be. So he was the largest stager in our market. He was in Richardson, Texas, and he probably had about 60 houses staged at the time. So he was huge, and nobody else had that much inventory. He was a realtor also, but he would stage his house.
Mm.
And we were doing a show. I was the flooring person on this show. It was called the Equity Enhancer on the Style Network.
Okay.
And I went there and he was my client. So one day he wakes up after 17 years. He's a homosexual. He had a partner. They lived together. They've been living together for 15 of those 17 years. And he said, this is not the life that God wanted for him. So he got up, packed his business, he closed
Wow.
and moved away back to Arkansas where his parents are. So he basically had a lifestyle change. He's now married to a woman with 3 kids.
Mm.
He's a different person, but that left a void in our market for a home stager. So the realtors that I knew started saying, "Oh, I need a stager. I need somebody to help me." I was like, "I can do that." And that's how I started staging. And
Wow.
he left his bit, he's my number one fan right now, but he knows a lot of those realtors that were saying that. And I was like, just give me a shot. And they did. And I got most of that business because
Wow.
he packed up and changed, had a
His
lifestyle
life.
change,
Yes.
and it changed my life too. So that is definitely definitely
Yes.
a direct thing that happened to me. And he, like I said, he is just the biggest fan of mine. He cheers me on every step of the
That's
way.
so awesome. Oh my God. Yes.
And I
Yes.
don't tell their story a lot. Certain times I get a chance to, but I don't
Yes.
tell it a lot. But he is definitely a big reason why I'm in home staging.
That's so pivotal because one person positioning themselves and repositioning themselves will ultimately lead to somebody else being able to shift and move into places that were designed for them. And I like to call those things sometimes, these people are placeholders for me.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
holding my place. You're waiting in this long line and you tell somebody, hey, I got to leave the line. Can you hold my place for me?
True.
And some people just don't know that they're placeholders. So, everybody has their place. So Nikki, what did you imagine for you? And I wanna lead up to this, but I want to make sure I get this out. This is one thing, y'all, that she said that changed my life. Changed my life. And I knew it, but just to hear it and have it resonate again, to have it released again in the atmosphere. And I wrote it down and I think you said a W-2 is not your best.
That's not where you belong. So I worked for that company for 10 years. I started staging as a hobby, and my daughters were going to college. So I did that because I needed extra. I started needing extra money because I have a set
Mm-hmm.
of twins. They were going, having two kids in college at one time was crazy. And then I had another one right after them. So I'm going to have three kids in college. So I needed a little extra money.
Yes.
So I was working at the flooring company and very happy there. Did not, I was very loyal. I built up that brand. We still talk now, but it
Time out.
was,
For significance, to keep your place right there. What
yes,
year was this?
this was 20, ended there at 2017. So
I
this is
just
about
want people to follow
2015.
this timeline.
2015 is
Yes,
when this was
2015, and
all,
here we are.
yes, this is
Keep
about
going,
20.
keep going.
So I'm very happy there and don't have any problems at all. I started the business and it just started growing. So about 2016, 2017 is when it was going really well. So my name was out there. People were using me. Even the owner of our company, he's an investor, and I would stage his properties that were going on the market. So he knew that's what I was doing on the side other than my
Mm-hmm.
business. I made about $750 a week. And for me, that's fine. I was good. I didn't need much more. My girl, I was married to my ex-husband, not
Yes,
old husband. Now I got a new
yes.
husband. Married then, so I didn't need a lot. So 750 a week, I was good. I was, paying bills and putting gas in the car, eating. I was okay. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really. I knew I wanted more, but I didn't know how much more and what that looked like. So when I started the staging business, just to send money to the girls because they need pizza and books.
Yes.
Can you cash app me all of that? I don't even know if Cash App was around, but sending money. So just doing something extra. And a lot of people do that. They sell Mary
Yes.
Kay or if everybody has something extra that they do.
Mm-hmm.
This was my extra thing. And then it turned into my main thing, but it was not necessarily by choice. I knew I had to do it, but I didn't know
Yes.
how I would get there.
And tell us about how you left your job, how they had
So
to make you leave.
yeah, y'all, they fired me. So the owner of the company came to me and said, Nikki, this is 2017, September 2017, right at the end of the month. So about right now, this is when
Mm-hmm.
it's happening. He said, God told me, first he came out with that. God told me, Nikki, you're supposed to be doing staging. And that is what you're supposed to be doing. And I feel like you need to focus on that. So October 1st, he said he gave me about a week. October 1st, that's what you're gonna be focused on. We can give you a going away party and everything. I said, I don't want no going away party. Y'all fired me.
Right.
letting me go. And I had attitude. I had a black girl attitude with him, okay? I had the whole attitude. I was like, this is not right. You fired me because I have a successful side business. He said,
Right.
that's not what I'm saying. And he had to break it down to me. He said, that is your purpose. That is what you're supposed to be doing. And I still had a whole attitude with this man. I was like, I can't believe he would fire me. And that's what set me on my entrepreneurship journey. I had to make it happen. After that, it was a small business and then it grew to where it is now.
Wow. So just imagine if you had, you know, ignored the leading, ignored the voice, just I'm gonna do my own thing because I want to be in a safe place. I want to
Yes.
be in a safe space. We all entrepreneurs understand that, you know, you don't work, you don't eat. We have all been through the seasons of feast or famine. We've all been there, but have you ever just sat back and imagined what would have happened if you left that flooring company and went to another one?
Exactly, because I did have lots of offers. So I, at that time, my business was, well, most people in the market, in the real estate market, knew me for floors, so they didn't
Mhm.
send business anywhere else. I had the majority of the realtor business in the market. So if I had either started my own flooring company or went to another, which I probably got about 4 offers when they found out I was gone, if I went to another flooring company for the security of that paycheck, and that was on my mind
Yes,
to go and just take that business that I had somewhere else because they would follow me. It's me that they were buying, and people buy from who they like. So they were they were buying from me, and I
yes.
could have easily transitioned that business somewhere else. But then when I keep hearing he said, God said, and I was like, girl, now you can have an attitude with the man, but you can't have no attitude with God. So you got to go and do what the man said to do. But it was in the back of my mind, Nikki, you need this security. What if something happens?
Yeah.
We always have that fail. We're scared of failure, and it's really a choice. You can either choose not to fail, or you can just, you can go out there and just put it all on the line. So that's basically what I did. I said, okay, I just got to make it work. So from myself doing the staging and going to get U-Hauls and picking up day laborers, and I mean it was a lot of work just doing it yourself. And now I probably employ about 100 people.
That is amazing. So tell us about a day when you really realize I'm just going to push all my chips in and this is it. You know how we say sink or swim. There is no sinking. For
It
some
was
people, there is no plan B. There is no plan B. So was there a day you woke up and were like, trying to dust off your plan B?
Oh yeah. So probably in the beginning, I was nervous. I had 2 employees at that time, and they're both single mothers. So what would fuel me every day to get out and market this business was I gotta feed her these 2 girls and their kids. So that was I gotta go. I gotta get up. I can't lay down. I can't sleep late. I gotta make some connections today. I gotta sell something. I have to make it happen. And that was really in the beginning my driving force, because I was so afraid to let their families down. So these 2 single moms, they don't have anybody else to rely on either. So they're looking at me, and I was really making it happen for all of us.
And so it was bigger than you.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Wow. I
Definitely.
wrote this down, Nikki, and I wrote, what is it? How do you, I know in your business, probably, well, I can't say I know, but in certain spaces that I occupy, I'm the only Black girl.
Always.
And so so let's talk about that just for a minute. Navigating those spaces where we're the only Black girl, and then sometimes there's Black girl guilt. I'm like, I should have brought in people with me, and wanting to give other Black women access, wanting to ensure that we know about certain opportunities, and not just in our field and what we do, but I'm often doing a room check. I'm like, where are the Black people, and so uh, let's talk about that for a minute. Being in those spaces where it's just us.
Yes. So, I'm in North Texas. So North Texas is probably a lot different, I think, than South Texas when it comes to what the market looks like. So
Yes.
when I first started back in 20, I guess 12 was when I started marketing for the flooring company. There was nobody ever in any of the rooms that I was in. Would it be women's council realtors, whatever it was, I was always the only until I started going to state, and then I would see different people then. But in my market, minority, like there was nobody else, and especially in the flooring world, there's not a lot of African American men or women
Mm,
in that industry at all. And it is a great industry to be in, but we don't teach our children at the schools or anywhere about the construction field. Tell them about being an architect, we tell them
yes.
about other things, but we don't, there's nowhere that you can learn to be a flooring salesperson and make $100,000 every day. Like all of them make over $100,000,
Wow.
but nobody knows that.
Now y'all
So
know.
yes, it is a great industry and it's easy. Like that is one of the easiest industries to be in. And I would have not known that had they not pushed me to get out there and to sell and see what it's like, but I would have known nothing about it.
That's
So
amazing because I didn't know that. I had no clue. And
great.
just kind of segueing into alternate ways of everybody's not a college student. Everybody doesn't want to go to college. Everybody doesn't want to pursue a higher education or spend years and
A lot
drown
of
in
money.
student loan debt. But there are fields out there um, that can make us a good living.
That's true. Yeah. And just, I used to feel like I didn't belong,
Mm,
being the only one that looked like me in the room. And then of course, quickly I got over that
hmm
because you're only going to be as good as the strength that you bring to the situation. So I would go in, I would volunteer, I would make
hmm
sure that I was heard in the committee meetings. I would
Yes.
volunteer like crazy. So I was on every committee. I served on the board of the directors at our association as a non-realtor member. So
hmm
I was like really, really involved. I created political action committee. I mean, I was very involved, but
Yes.
I did that because I didn't want to feel like I didn't belong there. So I made myself belong there.
Gotcha.
And then that way, people started respecting me. They would send me business. They wouldn't even
Mhm.
think about sending business to anybody else because they're like, oh, Nikki, she's the head of our committee. That's who we send all of our business to.
Yes.
So that I just established myself in those rooms. It is a hard thing when you first start because
hmm
you have to get over, do I belong, or is this somewhere that I'm supposed to be? And you just got to push through that.
Gotcha. Have you ever suffered with or worked through imposter syndrome?
Yeah, yeah, all the time, just in those situations.
hmm
I think that uh, when you are establishing yourself as the expert in your field,
hmm
you have a little bit of self doubt because you don't know if people will, listen to what you got to say just because you look the way you look, and
Right.
that's something that you have to get over. You look how you look and you sound like you sound. I hate my voice. That's one thing that that I really don't like. So playback on this, I probably will never watch it because I don't like my voice.
I am
But
the exact same. I am the exact, and
and there's a lot of people like that, but I just had to get over it one day. I said, hey, I can't change the way I sound. This is just what people are gonna get. Now,
and
if
it's
it
so
looks
authentic though. When you start wanting to change, and somebody Tabitha Brown. I mean,
yeah,
she's worldwide famous, and one of her character traits is her voice.
yeah,
And so
it's
we
so
can't even
true.
minimize things
Mhm.
like how the sound, how we articulate, how God made us, where we're from, and our circumstances and our communities, affect and shape who we are. So just learning to love all of that about ourselves. There's a couple questions, interview questions that I ask. There's a feature in the magazine called 5 women you should know. And so one of my questions is to the ladies that I want to pose to you is, what do you love about yourself?
What do I love? I love my personality. I get it from my mom, and that's one great thing. And my mom talks to everybody. So if we go to the grocery store, I used to be very embarrassed of it. We would go to the grocery store when I was little, and she'd talk, "Oh, girl, your shoes are cute," or she'd just say anything to anybody, and every person that walked by, she would talk to. And I used to get so mad. I'd say, "Mom, go in this store, and we don't talk to nobody," and she would talk to people anyway. And now I have that same thing. So I talk to
You turn into
everybody.
your mama.
Oh, I know my mama all day. So I talk to everybody. And I think that that is a warming and endearing thing, and people feel connected to me that because of that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's one thing that you haven't done yet that you really want to do?
I want to pitch the first ball at the baseball game.
Okay.
Texas Rangers are huge here in North Texas, and I used to go to games growing up as a little kid, and that is my dream. I am going to do that. I'm going to make that happen.
That's gonna happen in 2023. That's it's already done.
Yes, I'm gonna do that. That's my dream. I'll probably faint right after, but that is
So are you a baseball fan?
I am. I'm a baseball fan, which is crazy, but I am. I'm really,
Cool,
I'm really a
cool.
baseball.
So we're gonna wrap it up. I have written down alignment plus purpose equals power. Can you speak to that, where you are in your journey, with your career? And we see people doing one thing. I know that you are multi-talented and multifaceted. So
Crazy.
yeah, yes, I said there's a sketch on in Living Color where they I think they call it 10 Jobs None. And it's
Yes.
like, and I used to despise the fact that I'm like, oh my God, I got, I do this and I do that. But realizing that those are all giftings and
Yes.
that I shouldn't despise those. So let's talk about your alignment plus your purpose equals your power.
I think that, especially now in my career, every day things are growing, so I don't say no to anything. So I am aligning to with all kinds of opportunities. I just bought 15 acres of land. I'm
Go girl.
developing. So I'm developing land, which is crazy to me because I never even thought that this was
Yes.
possible. My parents, they owned a property, and they did a timeshare. So timeshares, I'm not a fan.
Yes.
But they did a timeshare down in Cedar Creek Lake, and it was just a piece of grass. And we would go camp out on this piece of grass for about 2 times a year. They paid all this crazy money. They ended up doing like having to file for bankruptcy because of this.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was a scam, and it was back in the
Yeah.
80s. So I bought 4 lots in this little subdivision that they did the timeshare in, and for me, that was vindication for my parents.
Yes.
Y'all got my
Yes.
parents out there, and I bought this little land. So I'm doing cabins, like vacation rental cabins
Awesome.
out there, and just building and developing, which is to me, I haven't, this is my first property that I bought as a 45-year-old, and I
Awesome.
never bought a house. So just to say that I'm developing at this point, building new construction and developing it is just blowing my mind. So just aligning yourself with possibilities, and making sure that don't close the door before you check it all the way out. And
That's awesome.
I've learned to do that recently. And like you said, doing 10 jobs, people be like, girl, what you doing now? Everything.
Everything.
That's, I'm doing everything. And to me, that's the fun part about diversifying
Yes.
your talent, seeing what you're good at. I
Hmm.
love building, and I would have never known that if I wouldn't have said yes to that opportunity. So
That's
just
awesome.
saying
I
yes.
want to end with something for entrepreneurs, those that are thinking about starting a business. My one of my friends, and we have about 7 minutes left. One of my friends, she has a uh, segment she does. It's called "Sis Start the Business." And yes, and so there's so many people holding on to dreams and waiting for the perfect time and perfect opportunity. Speak to that as we leave.
That is for me a very, very strong point, because my sister and I, we are serial entrepreneurs. And we coach other small businesses, people that are still, waiting. Oh, I gotta wait until my money's right. I gotta wait until the kids go to school. I gotta wait until there's no right time to start a business. I mean, today is the day. There's there's no other day.
Yeah.
Pretend the world is ending at the end of the week, and you want to do pull your dream off before the end of the week, before the world ends. Do it.
Right.
I mean, that is what we tell everybody, because it's definitely not a right time. That something's gonna happen to push that day back. So do it now.
Hmm.
Do not wait.
I love that. Do it now. It's and let's not overthink it. Let's not overcomplicate it, y'all. She said, "Do it now."
No, go down to, I always tell people, go down and get your name, your assumed name. That's a start.
Hmm.
It costs $12 to go to to the registrar in your town, in your county, and get your business name, and then go from there. Just
And
start
boom,
running.
you've started a business. You've made a step.
You're done.
You've made a step. Well, our time is running out, Nikki, and I just want to thank you for your time. I hope it's been well spent. Thank you for the nuggets. Like I said, just coming in that one room, not realizing how that would change my life. I mean, it literally pushed me. I was on the edge of my chair. It pushed me. It also, in some places in your message, and I called it a message, you jacked me up, because I'm like, okay, I need to be doing more. I need to, and you need to be around people that compel you and push you, and you feel that nudge in your back to do more. So thank you so very much for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am available. I mean, I love doing that because I like to see businesses grow. I like to see them start. I like to see people say, you know what, I quit my job, and now I've made $1 million in this business. It's
Yes.
crazy. I mean, it can happen that fast. So like my story, making that 750 a week. And then the first year of business, I call him crying on the phone. I had made, you looking at numbers, I'd made $975,000 in staging, and I had never,
And you didn't want to leave the 750.
and I didn't want to leave 750 a week. That was how much I was holding on to that security, and looking at what I did myself, and just, looking at this number that I had never thought I could even make
Yeah.
that in a lifetime.
No, that's so
That
awesome.
that is
Yes.
it seriously tells you what you can do without trying to hold back. You're making these people money anyway. So whatever you're good at, you can make it
Hmm.
for yourself.
Yes, let's start the business. Nikki, tell us tell people how to follow you, how to get in touch with HGTV's Nikki Watson.
So I
I
am
love saying that. I love putting that girl, putting respect on your name. I love that.
well, I like saying HGTV. We are pitching another show next week with some
Okay,
brothers, and it's going to be pretty big. It has some good names in there, so
great.
I think that this is going to be something very exciting. But I'm on everything. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok now, which is crazy because TikTok is crazy to me. We're on the Design Quad like four. So we're at the Design Quad on all those mediums, but we are, trying to get our social media game a little bit up.
Gotcha.
We got about 8,000 followers on Instagram. I think that's okay because we're not, all on there all the time, but
Yeah,
just trying to make sure that people are staying in touch with us and
sure.
looking at the shows that we have out there, and just building the brand.
Yeah. All righty. Well, Nikki, thank you for your time. We'll be sure to continue to follow you in the great things in the new show that's coming out. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your day to share with She Is Magazine. This will be a clickable link, and everybody will be able to see your beautiful face.
Thank you. This was very exciting. I'm very honored to be, even asked when you
Oh,
asked me.
yes.
Oh my gosh,
Well, thank you so much. You enjoy the rest of your day.
thank you.
Yes.